it's time.
All right, here we go.
The Cocktail Show.
Get ready to have a good time.
Let's have a good time.
This is exciting, isn't it?
Oh, I like that.
Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
Wow.
I've allotted 1 hour for recreational activity. There's no time for irrelevant conversation. Fun will now commence.
Cocktail Show.
Gary.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Gary.
But wait, there's more.
I'm the guy.
Finger gun.
Meier.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey, GarrForce. Todd Pickering here with a very important public service announcement. For those of you in states or territories of the USA or provinces of Canada where daylight saving time is observed, remember that this Sunday, it's time to move your clocks forward exactly 1 hour at 2 a.m. in your time zone. But the failure to do so may result in missed appointments or travel arrangements. You may even be late for work on Monday. And while we're springing ahead on our chronometers, it's a great time to check the batteries in your smoke detectors. Remember, any of us could suffer from a house fire that we hear reported extensively on the local evening TV news report. Remember, smoke detectors save lives, dead batteries do not. And so it's on to the shenanigans of the Garry Meier Show Cocktail Hour Live. Live.
Cocktails. Woo! Drinks.
We're streaming live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central.
On Friday, March 8th, 2024. And of course, no matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa.
This is also the Friday where we break the back of winter. This is it, folks, the final breakage. And it is over as far as we're concerned, with the clocks being set ahead this weekend.
That's good. Yeah. Disappeared.
Yep.
The best way to watch this show is the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
YouTube. Subscribe to the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
More eyeballs. It's a good thing.
Please like and share the show on all the social media channels.
Comments during the live show, wherever we are streaming, can be seen in our virtual studio.
And we may show them on the screen
and or talk about them.
And that's it.
Now, fasten your seatbelts. It's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live.
Live.
Here we go. The following may be disturbing on America's podcast. Boom. Shakalaka.
Finger guns. All right. Welcome. We're going to do some ample nonsense this evening while we drink. Thank you for stopping by. And what we do here, if you're new to this particular show, we kick the tires and then we light the fires. And then one more thing has to happen before we go wheels up. And that would be the removal of the wine condom. Leslie, how are you?
I'm fine. Hey, speaking of finger guns, did you know that Joaquin Phoenix is married to Rooney Mara? The girl with the dragon tattoo.
I see what you're doing here. Because Joaquin Phoenix, as Joker, loved the finger guns when he was watching the De Niro talk show. What was the character's name?
You usually are the one who comes up with that.
Murray.
There you go.
Murray. And then boom. That's what happened. Okay. A lot of people, when they are a guest on a talk show, they come out from behind the curtain, and it's awkward, that transition from behind the curtain to the seat, and they just do stupid stuff, and that's one of them, the finger gun. Yeah, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?
They're doing that on Jeopardy now. Like, people are,
having when they introduce the contestants, air guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
just chill. Just show their picture.
Crack down on that. Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
So here we go. We got another New Zealand Chardonnay, because it's my fave. And I don't know. This one,
No, that
we'll
doesn't have a
see.
lot of buoyancy.
No, it really
Oh,
doesn't. And I set it up early in the hopes that we would have some serious buoyancy. But okay, here we go. 3, 2.
2.
Oh, ow.
Yep, that was good though.
Okay, that one worked.
Yeah, you don't know.
And the cat's trying to get it. No, it's going
A couple
away.
of weeks ago, there was a lot of buoyancy and went nowhere.
And I'm drinking out of my custom Ellen Delinka provided glass.
Yes, I have one of those too. I should start using that. I got my Manhattan.
I haven't used it in a while, but it's time.
It's my Lent right there. No meat in the drink.
There you go. Cheers, my dears.
Speaking of lighting the tires, okay, and we discussed this often, and Todd alluded to it in the opening there, where local news, national news, they love house fires for whatever reason. Dead batteries in your smoke detector equals dead people. I get it. I also find that they're fascinated not only by fire, but by aviation. And have you noticed all of these stories where there's something that goes wrong and then they got to talk about it, even though the plane landed safely? Why is that a story? You know why? Because they have video. These planes are built to do a lot of things under duress, and that's why they have the safest record of any vehicle we could possibly get into. But boy, are they fast. They act like commercial aviation started a year ago. And the latest one is
which one?
The tire coming off of the plane.
Yes.
Yeah, the wheel coming off, tire, wheel, the whole thing came off. Here's my question, and then I'm going to go to the comments. Why was somebody videotaping that plane taking off, or was that the airport's dedicated camera? Does the airport videotape every plane taking? Because this thing was on the plane like it was a space launch at Cape Canaveral, and just happened to catch a tire coming off.
So there are YouTube channels that cover airports. There's one that keeps popping up in my feed very regularly that covers takeoffs and landings in LAX, and they do it like a play-by-play. They're narrating, they're describing what type of jet it is. They've looked up its tail number. They know the history. There are aviation nuts out there who really love it and follow it.
Who sets that camera up at the airport, Alan?
These various YouTube channels. You know, they'll be on the roof of a garage next door. They'll be on one of the office buildings with a telephoto. You know, at LAX, you could do it in the parking lot of that In-N-Out Burger right near the runway.
Oh yeah, LAX. I mean, there's a flight pattern by the car rental. I've been in that car rental parking lot, and the planes are on final approach. See, I can talk aviation. Yeah, and people are taping every takeoff.
Yeah,
and
yeah. They'll stream live for hours.
Okay, when you think of the choo-choo trains, they're doing the same thing with trains, and
yeah, there are train YouTube channels too. Absolutely,
yeah, just so into it. Hey, I mean, when you've seen enough earwax removal, you got to move on to something else. How about
wait? What do you show on a train? What's so exciting about a train going down the track?
This is a special steam locomotive that's going from coast to coast as part of a thing, and then other ones like the how many engines are on this freight train and what it's carrying and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I didn't understand how they had somebody taping for live a plane taking off that just happened to lose a wheel. And I know that was fortuitous or just damn luck that somebody was running vid. And then the other one that's been running all week is the airplane engine fire. And they said, did you hear this? That the engine sucked up some bubble wrap. And that's why it caught on fire.
Oh, but again, it had to sound really cool when it happened. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, that's not a story, folks. It landed safely. And what is the story? It's because they have videotape. That's how they plan what stories they show.
Currently, there's one that rolled off a runway, but the other, and I'm not quite sure where that happened. I don't care. Same way I don't care about house fires usually, except for the one in Chicago where a bus driver just happened by and he and one of the passengers ran and saved the family. So that one got a lot of coverage.
Okay.
But,
Well, again, the only people that are concerned, I would think, are the people whose house it is, the next door neighbors, and the insurance company. Beyond that, I don't care. I really don't. The other story that was kind of confusing on the Muir-Orama the other night, this Don Henley Eagles story, they claim that some guys, the lyrics that were written on hundreds of pages from Hotel California and sold them or something, and then abruptly it got all put away where they stopped the trial because there was something that wasn't released to the defense, and the way it came out of Muir's mouth did not make any. I didn't understand the damn thing he said about it. And then Don Henley said, "Oh, here are some emails." And in other news, oh God.
Well, speaking of David Muir, I watched this little thing yesterday called the State of the Union Address, and Mr. Muir was there, and he looked ragged.
Oh no!
I mean, I know he had finished his half-hour report, and that had to take a lot out of him, I'm sure. But come 8:00, he looked like he had been beat up. There was something going on, like he had, wait, what do you call them?
No,
Irish
that's sad.
sunglasses? I
Oh
don't,
my
I
God!
was
I hope
kind
they're
of
not
worried
working him
about it.
too hard. Yeah, okay. I'm not watching any of this stuff. I didn't watch it because I am not going to be dragged into this for the next 8 months. I refuse. But I will tell you this, because I know the optics of that State of the Union. And to me, it's funny when the Supreme Court shows up in their robes. It reminds me of when I was a Cub Scout and we had a pack meeting, and I would go to school that day in my uniform.
Yeah.
That seems kind of silly to me.
I'm tired of all the costuming, and I don't care which side of the aisle you're on.
Yeah, it's like a bad comedy club.
Well, and that's the thing. Oh, well, they wore a costume, so we've got to have some costumes. And no, put on a freaking suit or some business appropriate attire. Go to the freaking thing and act like a grown up. Oh my God!
If you got to tell me you're a Supreme Court justice, it probably isn't that great.
Okay, so they're the only ones who get to wear matching outfits, I guess. But even they, like everybody's trying to make it their own. Yeah. RBG used to do the lace collar, and now you've got
that one guy had
flair.
stripes.
Everybody's got
arm,
flair.
Right. One guy had stripes. He put they should get sponsors.
He's
that was Rehnquist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them can advertise for Lumi.
Oh, for God's sake! And seriously, just
we can insert all sorts of political jokes right there about what they'd be wearing on their sleeves. So.
No, yeah, but hell, they want to, they do, because some of them do go out and decorate their robes. It's just silly to me that they have to come in their robes to this damn thing. Just, like you said, just put on regular clothes. We get it. You're in the front row. You must be important.
We know who you. I recognize them. That's the Supreme Court. That would be good enough. But
they should have. Okay, if they want to really ease the tension on this, they should have a DJ. And every now and then, just just have some fun with this damn thing, because I'm not watching it. It's going to drive me nuts if I do.
You're better for it. And like you said, there's plenty of time. You can get furious later on in the summer.
There's plenty. It's 8 months away. I'm not going to get wound up now.
No.
On the radio today, I love the DJs and their patter. Guy says, "Hey, isn't it too bad we can't set the clocks ahead today at 4:00, and then it would be 5:00 and we could all go home early?" Wanted to drive into a tree. And then he followed that up.
Maybe he's like David Muir. I worked a whole half hour. Beat.
Wouldn't that be fun if we turned the clocks ahead at 4:00 today? And then he went with this gem. So make sure you put your clock ahead an hour at 2 a.m. Sunday morning, which is one of those things that I really like. It's 5 a.m. in the morning.
on top of that, most of us don't have to touch anything. Our
No.
devices are going to do it automatically, aside from maybe a wall clock or your microwave. They
Yes.
should kind of be built in these days.
We are
but
not
I don't
clock suckers anymore.
know. We are not. Well, some people are, but
We want to
and
go
we
to the
know who you
comments, I
are.
think, Ellen. And let me strap on the screen door and see who's checked in.
And
I'm
it's
assuming Keely-Ann. I
right
saw it.
side up, right off the bat. Look at that.
Yeah,
They
look at
nailed
me.
it.
I'm pacing, although when we don't have a guest, I tend to get sloppy about a half hour in. So I'm about, 15 minutes away from that. Keely-Ann, most dogs will adjust to daylight saving time within 3 or 4 days, as long as you're consistent with the new routine. Love thy schnauzer as thyself. Thank you, Key.
All you need is love and a schnauzer.
There it is. Hey, Martin, BC checking in as always. Appreciate it. And Brian from Oh Yes, Schnauzers, Shamrocks, and Savings Time. It's Friday. Oh Yes. Cheers, GarrForce. Thank you, Brian.
Got some Oh Yes swag coming up later in the show with our giveaway. Ooh, cool stuff.
David R., another evening hour of daylight to play with the Schnauzer. Lucky me. Hello from Oak Lawn, Illinois. Goodbye, winter. Yeah, we're breaking that back today on Old Man Winter. Son of a bitch. Get out of the way. Although, for the most part, it wasn't bad around the country.
No, it's pretty.
Well, there's might be still a sliver of daylight at the end of this program, right?
Maybe not where I am because it's been overcast all day. Just pouring.
But next week there will be. Dale, I'm so honest, I think of the lie after the fact.
Wow.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
All right. And Mike and Pat, Lake Barrington, Illinois. And the Schnauzer is wet. That's how you go into the weekend.
Nice.
Hey, Mike got his prize package.
Oh, way good. Wait, Mike was a couple weeks back, so
Yeah,
you
but he
better
got
have
it.
gotten your good, because who was the one? Is it Tom who won last week? He should be getting his today in the mail.
Yep. And Soggy, Wheatfield, Indiana, Dale, he will get the Leave It to Beaver book separately from Brian. That's coming from another area, Dallas. And that's going to be in the mail too. And Samantha in Mundelein, Illinois, she's here every week. Good to see you, Sammy. And Sandy Lee, Sandy from the backwoods of West Michigan, where they're calling for.
Oh, is that snow?
A snowflake?
Uh-oh.
Snow. So, how was your day, Leslie?
Very nice. As a matter of fact, it started with some texting with you, and
because I put out a kind of a vortex warning, didn't I?
Well, a warning and a suggestion that we're trying something new, because everything lately has been so and oh god, including my hair. Anyway, but you suggested that you were going to try and manifest positivity.
Yeah,
and I
want to
thought,
start the
you know
day
what?
on a brighter note.
And so that's, there you go. What I had in mind from start to finish, and it hasn't finished yet, but I went to the grocery store, had a lovely conversation with a young woman, and it came up, she was at the pharmacy. So she asked my birthday, and she's like, that's my birthday too. And we just, and it was just really nice. And it was one of those things where, like, you have a good day. No, you have a good day. And you start realizing that positivity you put out there is the kind of positivity you're going to get back. And then boom. And I'm okay. So maybe Netflix is just monitoring things that I'm saying, whatever. What movie pops up? It's this Katie Holmes, Josh Lucas movie. And it's all about that. What is it called? The Secret, Dare to Dream. And it's all about putting that stuff out there. So it started with you. How was your day?
It's kind of lined up that way. Yeah, where it had a better feel. And you start with back to back, Leave It to Beaver. That sets the
Nice.
pace car, and then it massages the day, and then you hopefully can complete it that way. And that's the way it went.
Any
I went
power
to
tools?
Starbucks, and I ordered my Arnold Palmer,
Uh-huh.
and she gave it to me, and she said, "Oh, I didn't put any lemonade in it." I go, "Okay," and she said, "Do you want to just keep that one, and I'll make you the right one?" And I said, "Well, yeah." I mean, she said, "Otherwise, I'm just going to throw it away." I'm like, "Well, that's silly." So I got two, and that got that going for me, which is nice.
There you go. Hang on,
All
I
right.
got to dive under my desk for a minute. I'll be back.
Okay. And she
I'm
never
back.
came back. Well,
I realized I had attached the power cable up here, but I never plugged it into the power strip, and I was going to lose my confuser here
okay.
if I didn't do
And
something.
yeah, so that's it. I mean, you go for the small victories these days. All right.
Not a bad
And
thing.
Deborah says, always put a smile on your face before getting out of bed. Have a good day before your feet hit the floor right there. Okay.
There you go.
And Brian says, that's a birdie by getting 2 iced teas.
Yeah.
That's a birdie. Yeah.
Nice.
That's Arnold Palmer birdie. Thank you, Brian. We're going to have Oh Yes on in a couple of weeks, and they will be performing like you have been enjoying them for months now, up to a standard that is incredible.
Awesome.
Whatever they touch is incredible, and we love having them on. The goal is to do the show from the barn, Matt's barn from Oh Yes, and the barn looks incredible, and we want to do the show from there.
Looks like it's going to happen at some point.
Someday. All
We're
right.
going to manifest it. We're going to make it happen.
All right. And because it is Lent, Dashboard Jesus standing by.
Oh, Buddy Christ says, hey.
Okay. And Angry Mama in the background. Good. All right.
Hey, asshole, stay positive. Oh,
That's right.
That was
Thank
very
you.
nice of you.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mama.
so sweet.
All right. And I was talking to Alan today via text because he went to Legoland. Where was it, Alan?
In Winter Haven, Florida.
And there was an event there. Is it a grand opening or something?
Yeah, I'll put up the vid here. Hang on a second. There we go.
What they can do with Lego bricks. I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Legoland is out in Winter Haven. It's where Cypress Gardens stood.
3, 2,
Here's the dedication
1,
moment.
Start your engine! 3, go!
Because it's not an event without confetti, and it's called Build and Race, and they built a Ferrari out of 424,000 and change Lego pieces, and
Wow.
you can sit in it. It has operating lights, an operating door, or at least a door that's open. It has a sound system that makes it sound like it's revving its engine. And this is essentially a giant photo op, like a lot of things at Legoland. And in addition to the car, after you leave the car area here for your photos and whatnot, then you go into the main area. And I thought I'd filibuster long enough till I got there on the video. There we go. You can build a car in miniature here, then you test it out, you race it on a track digitally. They scan what you've created and you put it on the big board and you can watch it go around. And I didn't actually build one. I did watch people build them while we were there at the event this morning. And here's what it looks like when they put them up on the board. They just go racing around this giant recreation of a famous track in Italy, whose name I don't remember, but it was on there it is. It's in tiny little letters on the.
That's a little hairpin turn up there.
Yeah. And so like the test track ride at Epcot, depending on what motor you put in and what other features you put in your car, you'll have different results. And then you can display your car at the end, because I don't think they let you keep it, although that was unclear. And yeah, it was a fun morning. And the even more harrowing part was driving there. This is my windshield camera and all the fog on I-4. And that was something. And the car also has a side camera. You can see the sun cutting through. Unfortunately, it cut through after a few hours.
Did you get any planes taking off from ORX?
I couldn't see through the fog. And Orlando International, or OIA as they call it, is in the other direction.
Okay.
John wants to know if you got dimples on your ass after sitting in the car.
I didn't.
Is it like one of those things that taxi
it,
drivers used to put on there?
I get what you're asking, and actually, let me see if I can go to that spot in the video again. I don't know if this video shows it, but some of my close-up photos do. Yeah, here we go. Oops, I didn't want it to run. There, stop. You go back a couple of frames here. There it is. So the one that you can get in, the side here that you can get in, you see is a plain seat. And if you look carefully across the way, it's a Lego brick seat. So if you sit in this seat, you're not going to get the dimples. But if you sit, you're not supposed to sit in the passenger seat. But I suppose if you did, that's like sitting on a box of Lego bricks.
You also said you saw the largest cruise ship when you were there.
Yeah. Well, what? Not there. I was. You told the story this week from the text exchange we had earlier this week. I went via Orlando's new connection on the high-speed train, the Bright Line. And the Bright Line goes up to 125 miles an hour between here and about West Palm, and then it was averaging in the 80s and 90s from West Palm down to Miami, because there's a whole lot of stops. But when I was in Miami, we took a double-decker bus tour and saw the Icon of the Seas, which is the world's largest cruise ship in port. And that thing is just mammoth.
That's why it's called the largest cruise ship.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been suggesting things that they can do now with these cruise ships: have an auto manufacturing plant, a tobacco plantation, and whatever else they can put on there, because it's
petting
so damn
zoos
big.
and all that stuff.
You know, I haven't been on one like this. I've been on the Disney ships, and we've talked about that on the show before, but I've watched a lot of vloggers who talk about cruises. And what's interesting about something like the Icon of the Seas, you see that arch over its name on the aft section there. There's like a whole city of parkland in the middle of these ships, and you can have an inside cabin that faces the interior park area, and there's restaurants down there, and some of them have carousels down there and other things. And of course, up on the pool deck, you got all those slides that you can see. Some of them have race cars. This one I don't think does, but I haven't studied up on what's available on the Icon of the Seas. But like I said, it was just mammoth.
Am I the only one that gets uncomfortable looking at it? I mean, to me,
what could go
maybe
wrong?
because I love Poseidon Adventure so much. But
how's your fashion history? You know whose house this was, whose mansion this was?
I'm going to throw this out because it's the only fashion guy I remember in that area, Gianni Versace.
Yeah, it's Versace. It's the Versace mansion where he was murdered.
That's where he was shot.
Yeah, that's where he lived, and that's where he was shot. It's right on Ocean with all the other Art Deco. This is like the only one on the block that's not Art Deco.
Are those people lined up? Like, are they hawking stuff out in front?
There's something I didn't fully read up on what's available inside, but there's a museum / there was like a restaurant out front, and it's still an operating property. And I think you can actually stay there. I think it's got hotel rooms in the building.
Get some lip injections and Botox while you're there. And
that's not what I meant to do.
Oh,
I was gonna say this is where they filmed the Birdcage, the exteriors. Remember the Robin Williams, Nathan Lane movie? That's the nightclub from that. But I wanted to go to this here because this is back at Legoland. Legoland has a little miniature Miami Beach. So Garry likes vortices. Here's mine for the week. I was in actual Miami Beach and Legoland.
Which one is better?
Scott wants to see Ed Gein's house. Speaking of which, I'm going to be giving away an etching of Ed Gein's
Tombstone?
Tombstone. Yep.
Oh, that's nice. Is that from Scott?
Yep.
Right.
Might be why he brought it up, but there you go. We will be giving away some Ed Gein stuff today.
And he is important in history because?
He was the inspiration for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A horrible serial killer who liked to disembowel and, honestly, I guess, turn his victims into leather goods, including lampshades.
And he would wear their skin.
Yeah.
And the tombstone doesn't say anything like beloved father, husband, grandfather.
No, it's pretty simple. Yeah.
All right. Also, Ryan had been texting me all week about his weird encounters, which is par for his course, because the man, every day when he leaves the house, is exposed to some of the strangest people, and he can't figure it out. He doesn't know if it's his Lumi, what's attracting these people.
And while we're trying to manifest positivity, he is just a kook magnet. And I don't think he's putting it out there. It's just the world is, or the universe is sending kooks his way for our entertainment, usually.
Ryan, you want to pop on and share some of the weirdness you encountered this week?
So the one that goes throwing way back to the 90s, Christopher Darden and Marcia Clark were more than friends. And I met a guy in a waiting room, and he was writing a manuscript about that. So I learned that they were more than friends.
From the OJ trial.
From the OJ trial. And I looked it up, and it was true. But, huh?
And he just brought that up out of nowhere?
We were waiting and sitting next to each other, and he's scribbling stuff down and says, "Hey, man, you want to know what I'm writing about? Marcia Clark." I did fine.
And there's another Ryan moment.
There you go. and then Chuck sent me a video right out of Waukesha, where I guess the new thing is to get high on vanilla extract. I guess it's got a lot of alcohol content. Is that what
when you run out of mouthwash and hand sanitizer to drink, you go for the vanilla extract, apparently.
Yeah, and it's the body cam right here in Waukesha, and I thought, wow. So there's
Chuck from WRLR, and he wanted us to play the video or do something about it, but we really can't play these videos because they're copyrighted or whatever the problem is.
Definitely Waukesha's finest, and dealing with a lady. It's her first day on the job. She's in HR orientation, and this all blows in.
And it's vanilla extract that she was on.
Yes.
Okay. And my question is, has anybody seen the price of vanilla extract? It's expensive. Cheaper to go get some hooch, girl. I mean, heavens.
Probably cheaper to get crack too. A little hit of that.
And that's what they were afraid at first, was that she was on crack, and it's like, no, she's just high on vanilla.
But why do people zig into the meth and vanilla extract and those things when you could get a highball, a beer, or whatever that takes you there, right?
I guess for the thrill of it. I don't know.
But there is a thrill. I'm having a thrill right now with this.
Oh, and you are pacing very nicely. Kudos.
Yeah, but I'm going to pick up the pace here.
There's the reference to Dukakis's wife.
I
look at that.
As soon as Ryan was talking about it, I thought, Kitty Dukakis.
If you remember her, she was the wife of a guy who ran for president, and she was, I believe, inhaling something called Bactine. Bactine was really popular when I was a kid. You would spray it on cuts and things, right? You know Bactine?
Yeah, the modern day mercurochrome.
Yeah. And she was huffing that.
And she still is alive. We had to verify is Kitty alive, but she is.
So she's apparently changed her ways and gone on the straight and narrow. So kudos to you,
that's
Kitty.
funny that went to exactly where you went. So
great minds, bro.
That's because she was hitting the bottle and they took the bottle away from her. And what happens when they start white knuckling it? And if you're black, do you black knuckle? Or I want to be fair here.
Oh.
No. I mean, that would be if I'm a black person,
I want to black knuckle it. I don't want the
So
white
maybe
knuckle.
we should just, we should come up with a new term. In the
Okay.
same way we were saying that there's got to be a new term for anal retentive, because I think it does us a disservice. So
Yes, it
maybe
does.
it's time to change this language a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. They start looking for things in the house that people wouldn't suspect that they get high on, and that's why they head to the medicine cabinet.
Yep. And the other rage thing, and my neighbors into this too, is the Lumi, the Dove, all of those products, and they do the 72-hour challenge where you don't take a bath for 70 or shower for 72 hours and see if you can get through it with either Lumi or Dove.
Why?
Okay. And
Why? Whoa.
Leslie finally saw is it Secret?
No, it's Dove.
Is it Dove?
Dove.
It's Dove.
This
It's
is
an
the thing now.
all-over body
All these
spray.
body
They-
deodorants,
Yeah.
they're really going in on this market, and this one is not that the Lumi one is any better, but this one, this woman's showing her armpits, and
Too much pit. Oh.
then she pulls her sweatpants open and indicates she's going to spray down there, and they want to go with the P word. You can tell because they go pits and then they boop.
Privates. They meant privates, Gary.
Well, they can say privates. Stop with this stuff.
On top of that, we now have access to running water just about every place in the US of A. I know there's some places in Appalachia where they still have some problems with that, but soap readily available, water there's really no reason for all this stuff. They are creating a need that is not there. And maybe these are people who are running low on bottled water. I don't
Well, that
get
Lumi
it.
woman who created it, when she goes pits, bifold, butt crack, I'm often having a snack.
I'm
and
a
it just
doctor
feels-
and I
Yeah.
I get down in
They
the
could use that
Bible.
fountain. Didn't you see someone taking a bath in a fountain one time, Gary? You could go out and take a
that
fountain.
was no, wait a minute. That was the last time I had pretty much stopped using public water. They don't have
that's
drinking fountains much
That was
anymore,
a
do they?
drinking
You don't.
fountain.
They used to have those everywhere, and we just, on faith, went, I'll just put my mouth up against this nozzle after 3,000 other people. We did.
Yes, we did.
And this fountain was in a park, and I'm sitting there just relaxing, and this unhoused person came up to the fountain and wetted a towel and did a "How's your father?" and then put the towel back onto the nozzle to wet it again. Oh God, I don't know how we lived this long with public drinking fountains.
And they were all gone.
As children, we used to sit on those things too. It was like a thing.
You
Because
did?
if you had a couple of kids, you could sit on one, block two, like if it had like 6 openings, you could sit on one block, and then the one that was left open would
shoot really
spray
high.
really high.
So it was kind of an ad hoc bidet.
We didn't even realize it at the time, but we were young. It felt great, and it was fun because you are now controlling water.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
There's Leslie, 8 years old, going, "Ooh, Papa!
Oh my!
Ooh,
This is
boy!
refreshing.
Yes." Hey, Johnny from Michigan is here. I guess the Stations of the Cross have run their course with him. Welcome, Johnny.
Was in Ann Arbor the last few days, and he took himself around, had some like really interesting adventures, and then found out that correct me if I'm wrong, Johnny, but he took a picture of a plaque that he saw, and it turns out that the University of Michigan campus is where JFK kicked off the Peace Corps.
Okay.
And so he was seeing stuff like that. Once again, he needs a show on PBS where he takes us on adventures. Because
Johnny's
sure,
travel
Rick
show,
Steves
yeah.
can do it with a shit ton of money and a lot of people, arranging things. Johnny does this stuff on his own, and it's fascinating as hell. And he had a really nice sandwich at a restaurant with a Z name. I don't know, but I get these texts, and it's like, I'm jealous. I'm totally jealous.
Yeah, he sent me a picture of a Reuben sandwich, and I love Reuben sandwiches.
Oh,
And boy,
that's
that
what it
one
was.
looked
It was a Reuben.
Delish.
So
And based on that birthday video that George sent us with Johnny at the Billy Goat a few years ago, I think it's George and Johnny on the road together. Just like I mean, we got to call up Harvey Moshman and get the Wild Chicago team back together, and it's George and Johnny
these two
just
out
going to places. Yeah,
this Billy Goat Tavern is famous in Chicago. It's on lower. There's a lower section to this main street in Chicago. It's in the lower section, and every year they post a picture of the stairs going down to the restaurant, and it's filthy. And then I get on there and I caption, "Time for some spring power washing." Jesus, would you want to go down there and eat after you see that?
It's like at the Apple's headquarters, right? With the Beatles documentary, right? The stairs were dirty.
Oh yeah. That was. Oh my God, you're right. If you saw Get Back, there's a moment where George Harrison is going down the Apple headquarters stairs to the basement where the studio was, and there's shit everywhere. No, I'm thinking, you're the Beatles. You can't have somebody pick this up.
Yeah.
It's garbage everywhere down in the landing area.
They're probably throwing their own cigarette butts down there as they go
all
in.
Smoking.
Wait, is it Thunder Blitz is saying Johnny on a budget? Look, we've got a name for this. We've got a star. We have to be able to parlay this somehow. Oh,
yes,
God.
he goes, say, from Detroit, Michigan to Chicago for a weekend, eats, has some accommodations at a hostel, $35 out the door and back.
There you go.
The guy's amazing. They're still doing the Stations of the Cross. I didn't go this week because of the rain, and I ride the bus, and thank you, everyone. Yes, you do. Okay, Stations of the Cross on hold because it's a little wet. And who sent the rain? See, that's the weird thing. Who prevented you from going to see the Stations of the Cross? Who sent the rain?
Our brains aren't big enough to understand it.
Hank did the Stations of the Cross. That was the big item today in his world.
At Hank's school?
Yes.
Yeah, we used to do that in Catholic grammar school every Friday, and
he has mass every Friday, and today was Stations of the Cross. And then we got a little note, came home, and it said he was disrespectful in church today.
Oh, what did he do?
He said he was just a little noisy, but they over exaggerated it, Dad. I really wasn't that bad. Come on, do I get my electronic?
That thing goes on, and I got reprimanded too because I started doing some entertaining in my pew, and I got called in the back, and the priest said, if we weren't in a big crowd here, I'd slap you right now. He said that to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that was back when, it took a village, and a lot of people would say, get off my lawn or I'm going to hit you with a bat, Okay.
Yeah, those were the days when we had discipline.
There's the
there it is.
This is the other side of that stairwell. Yeah,
that's the other side.
The cleaner side.
Is there a picture of the stairwell? Because they're out there all the time on Facebook.
This is a picture I took. I only took a picture because it had the sign and the Disney banner and the Hancock down the block.
It looks like somebody threw up there.
Those are leaves.
Is that throw up or is that food?
They're leaves. They're leaves.
Is that? Somebody came upstairs after eating.
All
right. If there is a picture, somebody can send it to us of the stairway. And I'm looking at this going, please, the Billy Goat should power wash the damn thing because their sign is right on the top of the stairwell.
Well, and I would regularly use the stairwell directly across the street. And it's made of metal and concrete, and the concrete is chipped, and so and then you really feel the need to hold on to the railing, and the minute you put your hand on that railing, you go, damn, that was a mistake. Exactly.
Cootie
I
time.
don't know what's been on that railing, and nobody has washed this in years.
No.
But the city of Chicago is going to make a concerted effort to really improve the Magnificent Mile to make it magnificent again, because they're starting to realize, maybe people don't want to come here to the Billy Goat because it's too filthy and creepy going down to that area. So
I remember one summer walking down the Magnificent Mile, and a bunch of kids, about 10 kids, 9, 10 years old, were running down the street. One kid was holding a dartboard, and the other kid had a
fistful of darts, and the one ran down one of those stairs, and the other kid was throwing darts at him as he ran down the stairwell.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like something my husband and his brothers would do, because he had 5. There were 5 of the boys, and they tell stories about like shooting BBs at each other and all that sort. Oh yeah, he tried to strangle me that one time. That's such a boy thing.
The other story I remember, there's a Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago that was left over from the Columbian Exposition. And I don't know if they still have it, but they had a farm scene inside the museum and a replica of a barn and a farmhouse. And they had these plastic ducks and a tractor with its bucket up in the air. And I'm walking by that one day, and some kids had gotten up in the bucket and they took the plastic ducks that were on display on the ground and they were throwing them at people as they went by. I'm like, well, this is great. This is terrific. And then there's a feature called the coal mine, and it's designed to make you think you're going down into a coal. I couldn't go down there now because I'm claustrophobic, but I went down there on a field trip. We always did field trips in grade school. And you go down and you were in a coal mine. And then as the years went on and Chicago's ne'er-do-well started to take over more of the city, I went to the coal mine and there were gang members standing outside the coal mine entrance as if to extract some kind of something before you go.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Wow. Oh yeah. Yeah, things they turn. Yeah.
This is our coal mine, man.
Yeah.
You want to go watch
What's
the chicks get birthed?
Sup?
That's the Crips. We're
Right.
the Bloods. This
Right.
is ours.
Sup? You want to go in the coal mine? Sup? Wow. That's what makes it urban. You want to have an urban experience. Now, if you've gone to this museum or any submarine, I don't know how people go into submarines, go under the water and stay there. They had this German submarine that was in Lake Michigan and they confiscated it after World War II, and it's on display there. And you go in the submarine and these beds are about 4 feet long. I don't know how these guys did it. I was in there about 5 minutes and had to get out. It's frighteningly claustrophobic.
Right? Months at a time. They're underwater months of it at a time.
Yes. How do you do that?
Well, not in the World War II era though. The modern subs are underwater a long time. The World War II era subs like the U-505 were underwater just for hours at a time because they didn't have the power. The fascinating thing, if you ever get a chance, you tour the U-505 at the Museum of Science and Industry, and fly to Pearl Harbor and tour the ship that's there, the Bowfin, and they're ships of about the same time period. And I wouldn't want to live on either one, but the American one's creature comforts were much, much higher than the German creature comforts on the U-505. The captain's quarters were bigger. The crew quarters were bigger. Yeah. They actually had a head on the U-505. They tell you they went to the can. That's where the expression comes from.
And it was literally a can.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And the other thing, and Leslie, we've talked about this on the program over the years, the Museum of Science and Industry had a display of fetuses in jars. And we all assumed for years that they were fake or made out of rubber or something. And then we learned that they were real fetuses. Woohoo!
Well,
wow. And then somebody threw a fetus at me as I'm walking to the coal mine.
And the scary thing was even he's got the wax mold.
Alan,
we can't hear you, Alan.
You're gonna have to get
muted.
another house for all your tchotchkes. He brought 2 or 3 Lego tchotchkes home to put on his display case.
Oh God, those.
You want to see the Lego gift? This was the gift to the media for coming to the grand opening today.
Oh, look at that! There you go. Look at the stuff.
Did you put that together, or was it pre?
No, this is pre-assembled, and I'm not sure it comes apart, which is probably for the best. Then I showed it on the show last year when I was out there for the opening of their pirate boat ride. I have this one. This one's actually
we have
flexible.
to do a tour of all your tchotchke one week.
Most of them.
Look,
I mean,
it's building up, and this is only the stuff that we see.
Well, and the stuff back here was put here for doing StreamYard, both on your show and on the Mouse Planet shows. This is my dining room. The walls were otherwise empty in here before COVID.
Okay. And you can laugh, ladies and gentlemen, but this man retired about 10 years ago at the age of 42 because he made great investments. So who's laughing
and that's
now?
why he lives in the happiest place on earth. And yeah.
Well, and life is much, much cheaper here than where I used to live.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So
the bills are much, much lower. Although insurance rates sure went up this year.
He bought Apple stock when it was $1, that kind of thing. These people that had a vision, like Alan. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Do we have a Wisconsin report?
We don't. I just have some pictures.
We have a bunch of pictures we're going to show.
Do we want to set up a giveaway before we get too much further? Before we start that?
Hashtag Lego.
We could do Lego. Okay.
We'll do one better. We can make the Lego folks happy. We'll do hashtag Lego Ferrari, and I'll spell it out here.
Oh, that's
we're gonna work tonight. Oh,
that's a lot of R's.
Stick with hashtag Lego, maybe.
That's a lot of R's. Okay, but we'll have it on the screen. We'll put it on the screen and just copy whatever is on the screen.
That'll give them some fun, something to do.
Make sure I spell it right.
I'm glad you're typing this one, Alan, and I'm not at the controls. I can't do easy ones.
Does Lego have to be capitalized?
Don't worry about the
No, the capitalization's just to make it easier to see on the screen when we put them on the screen.
Ferrari.
Michael, Tim, you got to put Lego Ferrari in. Redo your entrance there.
Sorry, Mike.
Not ego either. Not ego.
There. Brian's got it.
Lego my
he's a
ego.
Teacher.
Right?
He should. There you go.
All right. Just a reminder, next week to kick off St. Patrick's weekend, Jenna Duddleston, the official bartender of the GarrForce, will stop by and give us her St. Patrick's Day drink as I talk into my drink. Hello, you're my father.
I should probably mention what it is that we're giving away. Hey, no spaces, Charles.
I was going to say, before you do, to show folks why I say to make the Lego folks happy, when we get media credentials for these events, media credentials look like this. They help us out by telling us how they'd like it to appear on social media. If you look here, it says find them on social media and tag things with Lego Ferrari.
There you go. Ellen, if you aren't on their payroll in Florida at some point, I mean, my God.
Brian wants the Ed Gein thing. We'll have to do some more etchings on his tombstone.
That's
so
part
here
of the
you
package.
go. Let's start with the Ed Gein tombstone.
Wait, let me get Leslie on the screen. Try that again, Leslie. Go ahead.
What does that say, by the way?
It says Edward Gein, 1906 to 1984. Ooh, 1984. I didn't know he was alive that long. But anyway, so there you go. Your Ed Gein etching. Let's see what else we have. We have some temporary tattoos. We have a capybara sticker, courtesy of Hank Corcoran.
Who was noisy at stations today.
Yes, he was.
A little. We have our Oh Yes swag, which includes a koozie, a bracelet, and a custom guitar pick. So you got that going on. Of course,
you take that koozie off your lap.
Scott's Vintage Antiques and Collectibles sends us some really cool stuff. Well, he's the one who sent us the Ed Gein thing. So it also has a fortune-telling fish. You got to reach inside, and there's this little fish. And then you put it in your hand, and what it does from then on tells your fortune. Come on, wake up, little fishy.
It's the poor man's 8-ball.
Kind of.
Yes.
Anyway, so there's that. I have a little token from All Seasons Ice Rink in Naperville. They get you a free skate, but I think they're closed, so it doesn't matter. Bob's Big Boy.
Wow, you're just cleaning out the drawers, aren't you?
a set or a pack of Alcatraz matches.
Wow.
We have, of course, our custom magnets from Alan Delinka.
I mentioned to Alan a few minutes ago that listener Roberto, my friend Roberto, suggested when he redoes the magnets, whenever that is, that he put something about put your lottery tickets here, because we're hearing these stories where people misplace their lottery tickets. Always put it behind the magnet on the refrigerator.
There you go. Oh, and it's a good solid magnet, I'll tell you.
Given my legal education, it would include a disclaimer: we're not responsible for lost tickets and so forth.
Sure.
Tracy from Racine, God love you, Tracy. The ball liquor, the bendable, and finally the prize that started it all, your very own wine condom. So there you go. That's a hell of a prize package. Hashtag Lego Ferrari.
And there's a satisfied customer on the comment section. Thomas, he got the hockey puck, the condom combo.
Oh, that was sweet. That's one of a kind. Well, to be honest, each one of these prizes is one of a kind. Sometimes, they're fancier than others, but whatever floats your boat.
All right. Well, we're coming up to the top of the hour. Let's start showing some pictures.
Okay.
Leslie's got some stories.
I got the first one that we kind of tied into a Facebook post you did this week.
Yeah. Somebody sent me this. Isn't this great? There's Jerry Mathers as the Beaver with Priscilla Presley. And if you know the Naked Gun movies, that's where that line, nice beaver, comes from, when she's on the ladder and Leslie Nielsen is holding the ladder and she's getting a stuffed beaver off the shelf. And I mean, look at this. It's nice beaver over by there.
Okay.
I got the beaver with Priscilla. Okay. This is from the Jardians commercial that I've been talking about. And there are several guys with bad beards and haircuts. This is one of them. I don't think that's a very flattering pullover for this guy. Do you?
No. The neckline is all wrong. Oh wait, that's not what you're looking at.
and he's a total dumb shit because he can't figure out why the copy machine isn't working. It's not plugged in, and you can see the plugs on the floor.
Is that what that lady's helping him do? Plug it in?
Yeah, she's plugging it in because she's smart. She takes Jardians.
Unless this is like an old-fashioned Kinko's, which did have copiers in the middle of the room. What's the copier doing in the middle of the room?
So she could show him that it's not plugged in. Yeah.
The Jardians is really swell. It's the little drug with the big story to tell. Whatever.
I have type 2 diabetes and I
But
manage
it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell.
Okay. This was a story from a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I had an opening on one of the premium shows about this toilet system this couple has, and they don't have any indoor plumbing. They used this, and it takes their waste and makes fertilizer. So they use that on their foods. And it's under about $1,800. And the cost of plumbing would be $18,000.
So is that the actual size of the other part of this? Like, do you have to have that thing in your backyard?
I don't know where it goes, but if you go and set up a showroom in India with this, you could make a fortune.
Yes. Oh shit! I forgot. Excuse me.
Excuse you.
I just reached down into my lap and realized one of the best things part of this prize package.
If you take that rabbit foot off your lap.
I had it down in my lap because the cat is lurking. She totally wants it. Do you want this? Do you want this?
It's an animal part, yes.
Oh, and you can tell it's actual because she wants this so bad.
Yeah.
I'll take it to my lair. Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry.
And what else do we have, Ryan?
Put it back up. I think this was this week. Oh, wait, I'll stick it back up here.
Okay, yeah. This was sent to me by a listener. I love our listeners. Oh, God, I love monkeys.
And you
There
take
go.
your children to see them.
Yeah.
That's what's so fascinating. There used to be Baboon Island at Brookfield Zoo here in the Chicago area. Oh,
Wait a
top of the
minute.
hour.
Traffic, news,
Trend.
weather, sports, back in 15.
Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, I had to explain that monkey was touching himself inappropriately because he probably had an itch. Yeah,
That's why I love monkeys, because they know what they're doing, and they're going to do it right in front of your kids. Yep. Yeah. Asshole check.
Oh, speaking of which. No, sorry.
One of the credos on the GarrForce is low expectations is the only way to go through life. And one of the richest men in the world says, yeah, low expectations if you want a marriage to last.
Yep.
Imagine going out for a date with Warren Buffett and he takes you to DQ. Honestly,
yeah.
But that's
the guy
not a bad thing.
He lives very frugally.
Yeah.
Worth billions of dollars. He drives an old pickup truck, brings his lunch to work in a paper bag, lives in the same house in Omaha for the last 50 years. That's not that big. I guess that's how you become a billionaire.
Yep. I don't know if you talked about, speaking of living without the creature comforts.
Yeah, like a Gen Zer would live with that pump toilet that we just showed. Yeah, sure she does. You think she lives in a cabin with no creature comforts? I don't.
Yeah.
By the way, wouldn't the world be a better place if we could do away with influencers? I mean, that whole concept, what a freaking mess.
Okay, I posted this on my Facebook page.
You'd love attending these media events I go to.
Oh, Lordy. I can only imagine.
This is the greatest ventriloquist act you could have with the world's tallest man and the smallest woman. Sadite.
And he could drink a whole glass of water and she could talk the entire time.
She could still talk, right.
And people would be fascinated.
What else is here? Oh, this was at work. They reminded that February was National Condom Month. So they put this in the lobby where
they were handing them out on the streets of Miami.
Handing out condoms?
Yeah. It seemed they were also collecting money for some sort of charity of some sort, but they were handing out the condoms. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I had to put this in. I sent it to Garry. Our connection with.
We have this weird. Maybe you have this with friends where you have a touchstone moment that just becomes an ongoing thing. And for some reason, Marina City in Chicago has become that with Ryan and me. If we ever see a picture of Marina City in any form, we text it to each other, and that's some inside joke, I guess. Well, that river, that's not a chemical spill. That's what it's going to look like on St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Very soon.
Yeah, which changes color from the normal fecal brown to chemical green.
We might have to have photographer Barry Butler back on the show because he's usually on the boat that does the dyeing and then takes these fantastic photos.
I was on that boat once.
Were you?
Yeah.
Just once. And then they were.
That's all you need to do because that powder it blows all over the place.
And you didn't get covered with Dave Matthews Band when he drove over the.
No, where they dumped their toilet over the river. Yeah.
I have one more since we like UFOs so much. This was someone locally here in the area posted this the other night and said, "Oh, what's that in the middle of those clouds?" So,
look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, until they come down and talk to us, and give us some proof there isn't any UFO out there.
So that's all I have.
Ooh,
hey, Leslie.
He's down. He is down. I saw that.
Yeah,
Lordy.
baby.
So close.
Just about done. So I got enough time for your stories and to give away some prizes, and then I'm done.
And I'm only going
I'll save
to
the cherry.
Oh,
the Luxardo.
That's what she said. I'm only going to
Sounds like you're hitting it too.
You betcha. Hang on. These are the ones that we teased on this morning show, and that's that 6 Indian nationals were arrested in Bangkok this week for trying to smuggle dozens of animals out of the country. Thai customs officials intercepted the checked bags stuffed with snakes, parrots, lizards, and a red panda that were bound for Mumbai for sale on the black market. The 6 suspects are now facing up to 10 years in prison each. Surprisingly, at least most of the animals, they say, were rescued unharmed.
When you're packing for a trip, you're putting your clothes in there, your shoes and everything. Imagine, okay, I got to get the panda rolled up.
Exactly. I'm doing the Marie Kondo.
Yeah.
I'm rolling my
I'm rolling
pants.
rolling the panda, rolling the snake.
That panda looked like he wasn't going to recover anytime soon.
Yeah, really. The creases will not come out of that panda. Oh, you got to take that?
No, I think I'm fine. I got my hand over the watch. And a hotel patron in Las Vegas was left traumatized after being stung in the groin by a scorpion while he slept. Michael Farchi was staying at the Venetian back on December 26th when he was awakened by a pain in his scrotum. Quote, I just felt like somebody stabbing me in my private area, like a sharp glass or knife. And then he dashed to the bathroom where he discovered a scorpion hanging from his boxer briefs. Farchi filed a complaint with the hotel where rooms average around $400 a night. And they immediately responded by comping his stay, but apparently that wasn't enough. And now Mr. Farchi says he's still considering some legal action.
That sounds like a little thing that Vegas would offer. And if you'd like, we could have a scorpion sting you in your scrotum for an extra $50.
Exactly. Don't they have like people who'll show up at your...
Yes.
Not officially.
I thought that was only legal outside of Clark County.
Okay. Right. Where all the prostitutes are.
Okay. And finally, just one more. Let's do this.
One more.
Well, and... Oh, maybe I shouldn't because it's taking it to a dark area. But it's like,
we
anyway,
don't do dark.
No, we'll follow it with the Canine Hero because that's so uplifting.
Oh yeah, we got to do Project Canine Hero. Go ahead.
Well, then let's slip into this territory. Have you seen the video of the humanitarian airdrops being carried out in Gaza? Well, good news, bad news. Those pallets are being parachuted down, and good news, they're providing food and supplies to those desperately in need. Unfortunately, they're also responsible for landing on and killing at least 5 people who are crushed by cargo attached to parachutes that failed to open.
That reminds me of that wheel that came off that airplane. Did you see the car that it hit in the parking lot?
And we moved down, but if you get a chance, look at the car because it did some serious ass damage. Yes.
Yeah. Jeez. Good thing nobody was, as they say, nobody was hurt. Okay?
Nobody was hurt.
Nobody's hurt.
Well, in this case, unfortunately.
Well, there were people hurt. Yes. Okay. That's it. And time for the giveaway. Alan, are you ready? Here we go. Lego Ferrari. And hit it.
I'm trying to find the music. Yeah, hang on. Here we go.
Here we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh my God. It's Johnny from Michigan.
Oh my goodness.
He is rewarded for not going to the Stations of the Cross. That seems odd, but he won. Johnny, tell Johnny what to do. Alan.
I think Johnny probably knows. But Johnny, send a message to Garry Meier Show at GarryMeier.com or text 773-888-2157. Or since you're on Facebook, send Garry a message on Facebook. Send your mailing address so that Leslie can get those prizes out to you.
All right.
You know, we text all the time. Send me your address. I honestly, Johnny, don't know your address. So send me your address. Oh, that's
cool.
He's been a contributor for years. So it's really fun to see.
Hey, that's a good way to bookend this weird, like I said, the day started kind of something in the air. And then we talked about Johnny not going to Stations of the Cross. And then he wins. That's what I'm talking about.
He got the lucky rabbit's foot even. So, okay.
He's the winner. All right. Let's pass out that cannoli coming down the aisle. It's
You don't want to talk about the Canine Hero?
Project Canine Hero is what I want to talk about, Alan.
Sorry.
Exactly. See, that's
I don't think we've run the spots either. And saluted.
Oh, we did. Oh my, see, you know why? Look at this. This is why. That's why.
Gary got his vermouth.
Oh, I love it. Here we go. Bettenhausen Automotive wants to tell you something that's really good.
The staff at Bettenhausen has been given strict marching orders to sell as many Jeeps as possible. During the Jeep Celebration event, Bettenhausen Jeep has $4,500 total cash on 3-row limited Overland and Summit Grand Cherokees. Right now, get 15% off MSRP on Jeep Gladiators. Lease a new Grand Cherokee Laredo for $359 per month. Strict orders to have every vehicle clearly marked with the bottom line, no hidden fees, Bettenhausen price. Showroom never closes at BettenhausenCDJR.com.
And they're good people. And I want to pay homage to your late husband, Tim, because we both bonded with the candy wagon at Bettenhausen dealers. And that was where when we walked in, we first would go to the candy wagon. That's what he would do. That's what I would do.
Honestly, that sets the stage. It's that easy. You go, you grab some candy. They go, you want to see that car? Here are the keys. Come back when you feel like you've had a nice test drive and tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Golly.
God. Okay. And this man will get you a good mortgage or whatever you want to do in that realm, the reverse mortgages, VA loans, all that. Call for the free consultation. Those are the numbers. This man will save you money. He's a great guy. Love David. I've known him for 20 some years. Okay. Every month we feature a dog from the ProjectCanineHero.org calendar. And is this dog deceased too?
Yeah, all of them are.
Okay, last year they were all deceased. This year, these dogs, they do work that no human can do. And then they retire. Where do they go? Well, Jason Johnson takes them to a sanctuary in Tennessee and cares for them for the remainder of their lives. Now, if you saw this story that was a big story over the last 48 hours. This little kid, 2 or 3 years old, that was missing, I believe in Michigan. You know who found the kid? The police dog.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what they do. And this dog in Michigan had found a number of kids over the years and also was stabbed in the neck on duty. That's what these dogs do. And Jason needs your donations to keep everything going. And that's where you do all your donating, right there. And this is MAC. Is it WAX? What is the name of it?
Military Working Dog WAX, WAX,
okay.
Number 137.
You want to read his little legend there?
Sure. Military Working Dog WAX served in the U.S. Air Force from 2010 to 2019 as a dual-purpose patrol explosives detection dog at Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. During his career, MWD WAX performed countless sweeps and patrols, protecting billions of dollars in Department of Defense resources. He protected the President of the United States on 14 Secret Service missions and deployed to the Middle East 5 times. MWD WAX served in Afghanistan, Kuwait, and Qatar to keep American service members safe. After a decade of dedication, MWD WAX experienced many medical issues, including a diagnosis of cancer in his elbow. We at Project Canine Hero were honored to cover his medical needs at 100% after all he has done for our nation.
Yeah, and that's through your donation by buying the calendar and the other merchandise that Jason has. Please do that, because this is something that is God's work. The government does not have a system set up for these dogs that retire from the police departments around the country and the TSA. I mean, in the military, come on. Of all the shit they spend money on, they can't do that?
Seriously.
Yeah, and here's the Supreme Court in their robes. Hey, it must be a State of the Union. I'm going to wear my robe. Woo! Okay, that's it. Here comes the cannoli. Down the aisle next week, Jenna Duddleston, St. Patrick's Day weekend. Here we go. That cannoli is delicious. It's complimentary. Leslie, talk Schnauzer.
Why don't you plant your Schnauzer into a Lego Ferrari? I hear it doesn't hurt.
Okay, we'll take that advice. And here goes my Luxardo.
Ooh,
Done.
nummy, nummy.
Green the
Cheers, my
green.
dears.
Gear is down, flaps are down. Hey, don't forget to set your clock ahead at 2 a.m. Sunday morning. The GarrForce has landed.
And that's it for all the news and nonsense here at the GarrForce.
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce.
Thanks for streaming. Like, subscribe, and be kind. But no need to rewind. It sure would be terrific if you subscribe to the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
More eyeballs.
If you're watching this show recorded, that button is right here. And if you'd like to look at past episodes, try that button.
Boom. Shakalaka.
That's it. All right, how do you shut this thing off?